jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world combat sports. Talking way too much, world combat sports. Talking way too much, world combat sports.
Yep. Good morning. And shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game, A-Side official. No negotiations needed, period. This is going to be quick, straight to the point. Certain people are still confused on what I mean by black boxing media, how it's just turned into a circus. As per my description, black boxing media is damaged goods. No substance, just controversial gossip and snitching. That's all it's turned into. Now, of course, it's not the 100% across the board, of course. It's some very solid media members out here who are black like myself. But when it comes down to what is the driving force behind the message you're trying to send each and every time a boxer comes into rotation, now you line them up in your crosshairs and they selectively choose which one they want to freaking support and which one they want to shit on. But as of recent, we have seen the rotation take place again. Last year, we was coming off Crawford, the Madrimov fight, and then Shakur Stevenson, because people were saying he was boring, so they were shitting on Shakur Stevenson. Then Tank was out of sight, out of mind. They went and retrieved Tank before his fight, started talking shit about him. Then they turned back around and they got a little confused on who they wanted to support. You know what I'm saying? I gotta throw the Devin Haney situation in there, and Ryan Garcia. I gotta throw that in there. For real. Earlier last year, I gotta throw the Devin Haney, name up in there too. And then coming full circle in 2025, we have Tank stepped in there with Roach. They was criticizing him because they didn't feel that Roach was nothing. They saying Roach haven't proved nothing. He ain't fought nothing. He lost to Jamel Herring, who's an older fighter. Pretty much he was a bum. I heard people call Jamel Herring, not Jamel Herring, Lamont Roach a bum. Then when he goes the distance with Tank, they think it's just that easy just to switch over and say, "Oh, I'm a rock with Lamont Roach," because he has a grand opportunity to go in there and give Tank his first loss. Oh man, I'm gonna shit on Tank for taking a knee. Oh, Tank was knocked down. Tank lost that fight. That's all you hear. Controversial gossip. Hashtag it. It's controversial gossip. Every gossip you hear is not controversial. But when it comes to boxing, these motherfuckers create storylines all the time. And they somewhat just give you the same criteria content in between the lines with a different boxer. It happens all the freaking time. I want you to hear some audio again. We're going to go back because, certain people were saying that I was hating on people. And look, just because I respond to something, remember, when I have responded to certain people on here, it was in my defense. I'm not going to lie. It was in my defense. Just like yesterday, it was in my defense. If I don't know a person, I can't hate them. But I can respond to them, right? Especially if I am no longer in that area and they're still talking shit about me. And they don't know me. We have black people who will sit up here and protest for George Floyd, but get on YTC and hate a motherfucking Tank Davis fan, hate a Wilder, hate a Wilder fan, hate a Crawford fan. But they sit up here, Sandra Bland, go out here and protest for George Floyd. But they on here hating, I mean viciously. Just all the built up energy, man. They'll be at work listening, and look, they'll be at work listening to me today, and it'll absolutely ruin a whole freaking day, yo. Because they got so much hate built up in their heart. It take a lot for me to just sit up here and call a grown man a hoe or a bitch ass nigga, just based off some simplicity, But it's too many of these cats do that to boxers. It's too many of these cats do it to other people, just based off whatever lifestyle they're assuming is going on the YTC. I'm the one that said there's no such thing as a YouTube boxing community. Trash. You can wipe your ass with that. There's never been no YouTube boxing community, because the people up here that pretend to be in the boxing community, they're not talking boxing. They're talking hate. We had a group of niggas on the panel talking about how many times a motherfucker answered the phone. Now, it's not that controversial gossip. You worrying about a grown ass motherfucking black man in the South answering a phone, y'all. They worry about a motherfucking phone that they have in their possession. And if they are in communication with somebody in their private life, and somebody like me say, hey, I'm trying to drink my vanilla latte over here, if you don't mind. Your phone keep ringing. I'm trying to enjoy my banana nut bread. If I'm just trying to enjoy a snack in peace, but your phone keep ringing. Oh, they'll be like, hold on. They'll go live on Facebook. Hold on. This nigga right here interrupting me. And they start clapping their hand. We don't play that down here. You don't know where I was born. I came from the bottom to the top. Now we're here. They'll be going through the whole shit, y'all. This nigga don't know who I am. I'm about to show this nigga right here. Oh, if it's a black man, boy, it's over. I see black media being overly aggressive with other black media members, which it really leads to nothing. Real talk, it really leads to nothing, to be honest. But I'm about to remind you all of why, I feel the need to, first of all, reject the idea to let people think it's cool. The shit on the shit on Norman Jr. He ain't did shit to y'all ass. And just because you think it's easier, look, to do it to a boxer from the South. A lot of you cats are not even in a boxing community or a boxing region, right? A lot of you cats have failed at the boxer you supported. You claim to be a fan of the sport and not the fighter, but yet when you have people lose their motherfucking temper and lose their wits, that tells me that you're more involved with the fighter than you are the sport. More so, skin color don't matter. Hate's all the same, but even more. I don't see black media. No. I don't see white media, Mexican media, all on a panel dogging another Mexican fighter on a regularity. If you go back to 2024, black media dogging out black fighters. If you go to 2023, black media dogging out black fighters. You go to 22, 21, 2020, black media dogging out black fighters. That's a fact. You're talking about someone who have mug shots, who's out here getting in trouble, doing something, and then you have someone that's not. That's living a lifestyle, maintaining discipline, keeping their, as they call it growing up, nose clean, right? But in this boxing game, These dumb niggas support the one who's been getting in trouble. Oh, it's okay, man. Everybody mess up, man. I did. Them dumbass niggas start to sit up here and compare the trouble to what they did and okay it. But then the nigga that haven't really gotten in trouble like that at all don't have a damn mugshot. They dog him out for other reasons to try to mirror them up as having the equal if they have equal severity. It happens all the time, y'all. Somebody who's never popped, someone who's never had an alcohol related incident, never been out in the damn media, never had none of that shit. You see how they jumped on Roy Jones when he said he don't know if Spence is the best at 147 because he ain't seen him fight one of the top contenders. How everything Roy Jones did back in the day as a legend he is, they shitted on him. They didn't try, they did. They shitted on him. Black legend in the sport, shitted on him. Recently, Crawford sat up there and said, no, Errol Spence, based off what he's did, he's not, getting into the Hall of Fame based off that. Then they went back in on Crawford because he's easy. Deontay Wilder comes back in here. He gets stopped by Zhang. Okay, now he comes back. They say, hey, he should fire his whole team. He should retire. The man's coming back to BLK Prime, and they mad about that. I thought you said he should fire his whole team, though. He should retire and fire his whole team and all that. But yet the man's coming back on BLK Prime, and then they get back to work and start dogging him out for that. Like they the one that's signing his checks. Hey, shout out to my guy Jamal Neezy in the building. So it sounds like to me that you're saying that these YouTube guys love deceased Mr. Floyd and hates on living Bud, in my opinion. What Floyd? Mr. Floyd? You talking about Floyd Mayweather? I'm kind of off this morning. I'm I'm on a fast track. Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat. I will get to you. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I gotta get to this live though. But shout out to my guy Neezy for the $5 super chat in the building. Much appreciated, brother. You already know. One love to you. Thanks for your support. I don't know, but your boy Prince showed up the other day. I ain't see you on the panel when I was over there, Neezy, but I was just letting you know he showed up. Let's get to this audio. Okay. The reason why I'm letting you hear these snippets of audio is because certain individuals get absolutely upset that I remind them of what I don't think is cool and I don't co-sign with, this Boots Brian Norman shit. Because both of these fighters are good guys. They stand out of trouble. Real talk. Both of these are good guys, man. Yeah, I got my criticism of Boots when it comes to boxing. Yeah, I think he's a boring freaking promoter when he trying to promote himself. But he's a good guy in general. He's a good guy. He ain't my son, but he is another black man in life that's staying out of trouble, right? Norman Jr., good guy. Staying out of trouble, right? He's down here in a city of scammers. Shit popping off every freaking day. But we talk about black fathers being in the household. In these two scenarios, you have two black fathers being in the household. You ain't heard shit from Norman Jr. being locked up. From what I hear, I think he got his own crib. 24 years of age. Father is a successful businessman who received too many phone calls, y'all. A businessman, a black businessman riding around in the city, riding around in the city doing him, cannot answer his phone while he's on an interview with another black man who got tricked out for $5. I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't have no problem with KQ, but goddamn it, I gotta put it out there, nigga. You try to press goddamn senior grown fucking man, and we all grown. But you try to let a bitch trick you out of goddamn your spot, bro. Where you got the whole interview off, but goddamn, that's for $5. She gonna put the shit up there. She didn't even keep it confidential. And then look, when a nigga defends a bitch that's absolutely wrong, you have to remind them on why you said they have bitch tendencies. Listen to the audio. Listen to this audio. I told this particular person they don't know shit about boxing. Just because you have an opinion doesn't mean you know something about boxing. It's just your opinion on that specific topic, right? But listen to this, y'all. Pay attention, please. Listen to this bullshit right here, okay?
But I got news for y'all. Salvation can wait one more day. Go to the night service. Just make sure your ass is in that next live with KQKC and the homie KO. Because I want to see y'all there.
So you hear me say that all the time. I you know, it's good that people listen and tune in. I was the only one that was up here saying on Sunday they need to be in church and all this shit, and they need to ask for prayer. The pews are going to be a little bit more, you know, crowded than they used to be. All that shit. But not this guy. This is not the guy I'm talking about. This is not this guy. And look, this is the audio of Knockout Boxing, of course. But I wanted to remind the person on what I said when I was on that panel. I'm not just making the shit up. I'm not just making it up. I don't have no hate towards these people. If you look up there, I say, hey, I'm not trying to make no enemy, man. I'm chilling, really. I was just really out kicking the can on the YTC streets. That's all. And then I said, man, let me get on here. It's been a minute. And you know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know it was, you know, it was a calculated move. I saw Knockout on there, so I got on there because I knew these niggas was just like him. I already knew. I seen him on there already. It was premeditated. I say, man, I want to know. I want to see how much tolerance they got because I know they know who I am. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. They mad already, regardless of what I say. And then we get to a boxing talk, they start feeling some type of way. But listen to this female.
I want to see y'all when y'all guy gets his ass destroyed, and I'm in there. I'm gonna be there waiting for you. So make sure you hit the link. Well, no.
And this is prior to the Errol Spence Crawford fight. It's a process of this. We're not gonna listen to the whole vid, but I just want you to hear something right quick. As to caveat to what I said. If you listen, you know who you are. This is what I'm talking about. This is what you don't want to acknowledge.
No, don't hit the link because that's not gonna be open panel. But make sure you in there. Make sure you shouting everybody out because I want to be there and I'm gonna make sure I'm there to see what y'all got to say.
Oh man, like shout out to the homie Ronnie, bro, coming up here and riding like you always do. We got Jay next. Jay, talk to me. You got 2 minutes, bro. Go ahead. And hold on real quick, Jay. Shout out to Ask Talk. I think you mentioned y'all ain't subbed to the channel. We live every all those nights at 7:30. Hit that like.
What up, chat? What up, Knockout? I just want to say
listen, and to the female, you need to listen to yourself too, because it's still out here, and you can't be mad at nothing I said based off what I heard right here. You was on some nonsense, bro. And this was before the Crawford Spence fight. But yeah, you know who I am. You've been on my panel before. And look, I wasn't trying to say disrespect you saying you don't know shit about boxing, but when you talk, it sounds like you don't give a damn about knowing shit about boxing.
I think this fight is not going to be as competitive as everybody think it's going to be. It might even be disappointing. But the point I want to bring up now, maybe we could discuss it later.
Hey, that's the truth, baby. It was disappointing.
Is how because I don't know why people think that Terrence Crawford is going to be able to jump up to the highest level of competition and all of a sudden be able to win. I don't understand that. And I just want to know why all of a sudden, since the fight was made, all of the other stuff from the past don't matter no more. It don't matter about his resume no more. It don't matter about how he handled the negotiations. I don't think people realize all of that stuff says something about his character. And it also says something about him not being a real champion. He is he is a terrible display of a champion. In my opinion. In my opinion. But I mean, we'll see come Saturday. But I just think that I don't see it. The way he handles things, his character, the constant contradicting himself, all of those things says something about somebody, and it also says something about the way you're going to be competing come Saturday night.
Damn. Okay, well, Y'all heard what content to the channel every single
later is how because I don't know why people think that Terrence Crawford is going to be able to jump up to the highest level of competition.
Look, I can't make this shit up. I can't not make it up. They got mad because I told this female that she don't know shit about boxing yesterday. This was before Crawford and Spence. What the fuck are you talking about? Look. Look, let me explain something to you. I always talk about how boxing has turnstiles and motherfuckers come in to compete from all walks of life. You heard me say that shit before. What the fuck is she talking about? Character. How can he jump up to the elite? Terrence Crawford was really the elite. 35-40, undisputed at 40. Then came up to 47. And before this fight has stopped everybody. Everybody in the division except for the undisputed Errol Spence. Everybody he had fought, he had stopped. Everybody that was on his list of availability didn't make it to the final tick. And this is pre-fight. This is the pre-fight. I want to place you in the moment of how these Errol Spence fans was spinning out of control, crashing out mentally, psychologically depleted, how they was going up here proving to the YouTube community that they was absolutely insane, acutely delusional, member of the asylum that don't know shit about boxing asylum. Character? You have dudes that's coming out of prison into the boxing ring and becoming world champions. Character? She said Crawford was a terrible. Let me let you listen to it.
And all of a sudden be able to win. I don't understand that. And I just want to know why all of a sudden, since the fight was made, all of the other stuff from the past don't matter no more. It don't matter about his resume no more. It don't matter about how he handled the negotiations. I don't think people realize all of that stuff says something about his character, and it also says something about him not being a real champion. He is he is a terrible display of a champion, in my opinion. But I mean, we'll see come Saturday. But I just think that I don't see it. The way he handles things, his character, the constant contradicting himself, all of those things say something about somebody. And it also says something about the way you're going to be competing come Saturday night.
Damn. Okay, well, y'all heard what she said. Let me go to the homie Real Spill Midwest Boxing Talk. You got 2 minutes, man, for your opening.
Can y'all imagine hearing somebody say terrible? Crawford is a terrible. She called him terrible off his negotiation. The fight is about to happen. He drops out of negotiation, returns, and him and Spence is about to step in the ring. And she calls him terrible. Terrible, y'all. That is the overemphasized supererogatory definition that she explained for Terrence Crawford. Terrible is extremely. You know what extreme is. That is really at the past the threshold, breaching the threshold. Extremely or distressingly bad or serious, a terrible crime. Okay. She said this dude was appalling, awful, dreadful, horrific, insignificant, based off what she feel he didn't do correctly as a boxer. Terribly.
And y'all gonna go to church that day. But I just
want to know why all of a sudden, since
like y'all always do content to the channel.
Like I just want to say, I think this fight is not going to be as competitive as everybody think it's going to be. It might even be disappointing. But the point I want to bring up now.
I wonder how you feel about that now. Saying that god awful bullshit. Talking about it may not be even competitive. You was motherfucking right. I thought partial, real talk, low key, you was a little bit of genius. You prognosticated. I don't want to call you a goddamn Ebony Nostradamus, but you kind of prognosticated what was going to happen to your boy Spence. But you was just on the wrong side of the hemisphere when you thought about it. When the thought came to your attention, you was on the wrong side of the hemisphere, bro. That's all. You say it'll be a disappointment, right? Right.
Now maybe we could discuss it later. Is how because I don't know why people think that Terrence Crawford is going to be able to jump up to the highest level of competition and all of a sudden be able to win. I don't understand that.
Is that not the dumbest shit you ever heard in your boxing life, yo? Y'all in the chat for real. Is that not the dumbest bullshit you ever heard in your boxing
I
life?
just want to know why all of a sudden, since the fight was made, all of the other stuff from the past don't matter no more. It don't matter about his resume no more. It don't matter about how he handled the negotiations. I don't think people realize all of that stuff says something about his character, and it also says something about him not being a real champion. He is he is a terrible display of a champion.
Crawford is not a real champion when Jaron Ennis, the guy that you're vouching for now, the semi clone that you all wanted to basically reincarnate when Errol Spence was defeated by Crawford, right? You're saying, based off what you have just said, character. We talking about character now. Look, we're talking about him negotiating, y'all, and his resume up to that point to fight Spence. She said he wasn't a real champion. I mean, like, she cut the man down. Like, where am I talking about? Didn't he fight Jeff Horn? This man takes a championship fight when he first moved up from being undisputed, vacating his titles at 140, and he gets a shot at Jeff Horn and champion. And nobody has been able to go to the final bell. And you hearing this bullshit ass rhetoric right here. That is crazy.
In my opinion, later is how because I don't know why people think that Terrence Crawford is going to be able to jump up to the highest level of competition and all of a sudden be able to win. I don't understand that. And I just want to know why all of a sudden, since the fight was made, all of the other stuff from the past don't matter no more. It don't matter about his resume.
Well, I'm going to leave that right there because obviously there's still some confusion. This is Wednesday. I'm pretty sure, people are going to be dropping links over there to let that person know. But I don't have no haters to disdain to her. You know what I'm saying? She could talk her talk, whatever. I don't know her like that. I just know when my people act up over some bullshit, they have to remember when they was out here on these panels before Crawford Spence talking I'm talking about asinine shit that how do you feel? That shit is wild. This shit you was saying about Crawford, it'll be rather disappointing. Like, you act like this man was decrepit. Like, he came in that motherfucker partially paralyzed. She act like Crawford was Jose Benavidez. He had been shot in one leg. She had like he was damn near handicapped. Are we talking about the same fighter? We can't be talking about the same fighter. This is the last time.
Yeah, bro. I say everything I mean. I'm glad you showed up.
It's the last time.
My opinion, but later is how because I don't know why people think that Terrence Crawford is going to be able to jump up to the highest level of competition and all of a sudden be able to win. I don't know.
The highest level of competition. I thought he was the high level competition. And why? Because he was on the pound for pound list, man. How can he jump up to the highest level? He's been doing that since before he moved up to 147 pounds. He's been building his legacy. He's been stacking championships up. And you said high level competition and win? Man, these Errol Spence fans are incredibly stupid sometimes. I swear. And it's their own option to be stupid. Let me get up out of here, yo. I'm going to the next one. Yo. I'm going to the next one. Let's go right here. And remember, y'all, don't get tricked out your bag for $5.
G5, what up, bro? A lot of people want a lot of respect that they haven't even fucking earned yet. You got boxers that want to be called the best. You got boxers that want to be called the best, such as a Terrence Bud Crawford in this instance, right?
This is another guy. This is his content. Okay? This is his audio. Once again, hey, I'm just putting out there what's public record.
He wants you to call him the best without earning it. He wants you to call him the best welterweight in the world. He wants you to say that he is the man at the welterweight division when he has done nothing to earn that level of respect at welterweight.
So at this point in time, Crawford had did nothing to earn that respect at welterweight, but he was a reigning defending champion. Not only that, he had an undisputed reign to his legacy already, registered, recorded on his boxing ledger. His portfolio says so. High boxing FICO for Terrence Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? 2 division champion already, which makes it the 3rd when he was at the welterweight division. But we have the same retardation going on when it comes to Jaron Ennis, because Ennis, like Spence, has been in a single division with the championship. Received the first one via SMTP, Simple Message Transfer Protocol, via IP, Internet Protocol. You know, all the IT type gadgets that point to point, right? They sent the letter. The letter was received, and they went up there and knew that Crawford was locked into a rematch, and he received his belt. Okay, kudos. But he's a legitimate unified champion now. He just beat Stanthionis. Cool. But my whole point is he's been just like Errol Spence in the welterweight division. But yet, I don't hear the same criticism that he was giving Crawford for having one belt at the time. I don't hear the criticism as to why that particular boxer was in the WBO and switched to the IBF. And you know, people love going to the casino and gambling all the time. They just hit snake eyes on that one, because the fighter that they was hoping to win and thought was going to be the easier road to undisputed, they thought Errol Spence was going to beat Crawford, and then they would be next in line, just like Karen was for Jaron Ennis. Facts.
People like to live off of what they did in the past. People like to live off of what they did way back when. And you find that shit here on YouTube a lot too.
Yeah.
You really do. People want respect because they've been doing this shit for a long time. Mike Biggs, what up, homie? People want respect because they've been on this motherfucker for 10, 15 years. It ain't about how long you do something. It's about how good you do something. If you Terrence Bud Crawford, you're in a new weight class. You got Shakur Stevenson fans. They want to give him all this respect. All these fighters, all these fans, they want all this respect for their favorite fighter when their favorite fighter has not earned the respect that they're asking for. You want...
So what has this, your favorite fighters today in the welterweight division earned? How have they earned the respect? I mean, this is the real big question.
Me to just say that Terrence Bud Crawford is the absolute best at welterweight, and I'm a hater if I don't say it. You want to fight me if I don't say it. You want to go at me over and over and over again if I won't say it. All because I just want to see him fight Earl. What up, Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. Salute. Respect has to be earned. The way that Bud Crawford can get the respect that he looks for, his fans look for. I shouldn't even call them fans. His fanboys look for the...
Yeah, they can't call us just fans, because it's nothing that supersedes aerosexuals. The name itself, oh man, it just flows. It's just like dressing up that tuxedo with a nice bow tie that blends in just nice. Not too much over the top, no glitter, no glitz, but just right, goddammit. Not too much flashy, up top, shoes just right, everything blend in.
The way that he gets his respect, the way that he gets the acknowledgement that he is looking for is very fucking simple, bro. All he gotta do is fight Earl. And the fucked up thing is, bro, he ain't even gotta beat him.
What? You saying WCS, why did you bring this clip up? Hey, can you imagine if Crawford wouldn't have beat Errol? How jubilant these dudes would have been while they were spewing their hatred, running through the town, spewing hatred, rhetoric, sitting up there with their signs, all happy, quitting their jobs. Yes, I made enough money. I don't need no career. I did it. Look at my smoking bud shirt on. The motherfuckers will take a week of leave just so they can celebrate Errol Spence winning. That's bullshit. Talking about he don't even have to win. How's he gonna earn respect? And you just said he won the best fight at the welterweight division. So respect in boxing comes with wins, right? A fighter that's taking losses don't get the same amount of respect as fighters that's taking wins, right? And then the ones who's winning, it's all about who he or she have been winning against.
He ain't even got to beat him to get respect from real ones, bro. A real one will respect him just for fighting.
Oh man, you don't
real
believe
shit.
You don't believe that bullshit, nigga. Stop. See, this is what I'm talking about. Controversial gossip. This is a nigga on the mic gossiping. This is just a gossiping ass nigga, man. Real talk, guys. That's all I'm saying. It's hilarious looking back on it, though. The calm before the storm. That's all. The calm before the storm. It's hilarious, man.
You know how like all you got to do is show up and fight your heart out. You ain't even got to win. He ain't even got to win the fight, bro. Shit, motherfucking Miguel Berchelt done got knocked out like 2 of his last 3 fights, bro.
He's not black. Berchelt's not black, buddy. If Berchelt was Crawford, shit, this nigga would never, ever mention that positive shit that he's dressing up with Miguel Berchelt. Hey, he been knocked out, but he still fights on. That black fighter don't get that. Black fighter don't get that. Black fighters don't get that wristwatch. You know what time it is. We don't get that.
2 of his last 3 fights, he done got knocked out. But every time he fighting, I'm watching. Cause I know what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get a shit ton of heart. He ain't backing down, and he going for the gusto, even though he's a walking fucking heavy bag, bro.
Hey, this is the perfect example when you have, a person who didn't know to chase their laxatives with a glass of water. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're up here chewing on laxatives and taking a pinch of Copenhagen and putting laxatives in there, and they're just talking a pile full of shit. Just a pile full of shit. They goddamn breaking up Alka-Seltzers and put them in the goddamn tobacco and putting in that lip, shit just bubbling, just guts all fucking messed up. And motherfuckers just talking a damn pile full of shit, dog. Just talking minutes and minutes upon shit. Because we know if that was Crawford, they would be saying he was a bum all day, all night. Bum. They see, this is the perfect example of what I'm talking about. Of black media always hyping up non-black fighters. When they get knocked down, they encourage them, they compliment them, they give them mad credit for getting off the canvas. He say he's tuned in to see Berchelt, a moving punching bag. He'll tune in to see that. But for Crawford, you already know what he said.
Even though Miguel Berchelt might as well just be hanging from the ceiling in a motherfucking boxing gym. He can be hanging from the ceiling in the boxing gym. That's the kind of defense he got. He a goddamn heavy bag. That's it. Bro, he gonna fight. He gonna show heart. He gonna show grit. So he got my respect, bro. What up, Rick? I see you. So he got my respect. Which leads to back to this World Series of debates. If you want one last thing on the turn, bro. Jay Chestnut, you let me know. People are going to inevitably say that it was rigged. William Old School, what up? They're going to inevitably say that I was on some bullshit. Shit match.
Hey, you know where he got that rigging shit from them bogus ass debates? Me. Because the motherfuckers was rigged. Let's get up out of here, and I want to let you listen to another piece of audio right quick, okay? I want you to hear this other piece of audio because I do feel that it's very imperative to hit all the wickets, because some people try to forget what they was actually talking about, the bullshit. This is after, okay? Okay, y'all? This is after.
Video on.
Hold on for a second. My bad. Hold up for a second. Okay, here we go. I had to move it back to the point of reference.
Red Glove Militant, what's happening with you? Salute to all the people that waited till after the fight to come in here, but don't never come in here before the fight. Salute to them. Salute to y'all, bro. Come talk your shit today, man. Let me see who else we got, bro.
Hey, if you're listening, check out the energy. That's the energy of surrender. This is following Terrence Crawford T-Mobile Massacre Slaughterhouse performance. Ooh, the energy's different on Sunday, dog.
The like button. We only got 56 likes. I need y'all to. I'm gonna drop the link in a minute, but I ain't never been so goddamn wrong. Not me. What's up? I ain't never been so wrong on the fucking fight pick. Let me turn my camera. I ain't never been so goddamn wrong. Not me. What's up? I ain't never been so goddamn wrong. Not me. What's up? In a minute, but I ain't never been so goddamn wrong. Not me. What's up? I ain't never been so wrong on the fucking fight pick. Let me turn my camera. I ain't never been so goddamn wrong. Not me. What's up? I ain't never been so wrong on the fucking fight pick. Let me turn my camera. I ain't never been so goddamn wrong on the motherfucking fight pick. I ain't never been so goddamn wrong on the motherfucking fight pick. So what I did, I ain't never been so goddamn wrong on the motherfucking fight pick. So what I did was
listen. If all the aerosexuals would just download that soundbite to their ringer and think about what you're doing when you're trying to zoom in and do the same thing with Norman Jr. and Ennis. Put this soundbite into your ringtones and remind yourself that it's a great possibility that you may be exposed for being a former aerosexual, and the hate that you're putting into the Norman Jr. Ennis fight as if someone's committing a crime, and you really don't have nothing to go off of because both of them are stand-up individuals, right? Both of these guys are stand-up. You go for their fathers. So it's only one that's being, that's really talking online. And look, that's the risk that you take, with going online. People are not going to take you, give you the respect that you deserve going online and giving these people your time. It's just all about doing the same disrespect that they used to doing when they have access to certain fighters. They don't go to fights to have access and talk that shit in their face. They rather do it from inside the comfort of their safe haven. But they won't say none of this bullshit to the fighter if they saw him in person. They won't. They will not do it. They're taking pictures, yo. They're taking pictures to come back and say, look who I seen. They're not face to face. They don't have the camera rolling. They're not going to have that Derrick James Crawford interaction. They're not doing that shit. They're going to talk all their shit from remotely.
Like to be right, bro. Like y'all know I'm extremely competitive. If you've been following the channel for a long time, you know that about me. Y'all know I take these fucking picks serious, and I love to be accurate. I love to get them right. So I'm like, damn, bro, how did I not fucking see this coming? What did I do? What did I do so wrong? So I went back, bro. I watched my predictions and shit. I listened to the shit that I said, and I got a few reasons. That my antenna should have been up, but they weren't. So I was listening to myself, and I said, so one of the things I said, bro, and I said it on every single time I broke the fight down.
What was that?
Every time I broke the thing down, I would say this statement.
I
saw it, but I don't know, bro. I don't know how I fucked it up.
What you see, man? Just get to it, man. What you see?
So you go check my breakdown. Every time knockout, ask me knockout about the fight, ask me about the fight. G Money, what up? I say, hey, bro, the fight is gonna be determined because Bud is gonna catch Earl early in the fight with a counter shot. He's gonna catch him flush because his timing's so good and he a great counter puncher. And at that moment, if he don't get Earl respect, the fight is going to be over for Bud. Put 100 in the chat if you heard me say that multiple times. If you ain't heard me say that, then that's cool. But if you heard me say that,
I don't want my chat putting shit in that motherfucker, because please don't contaminate my chat, please. Because the real part of this situation is they got a reality check from all that hate. Reality check. They sat up here and laughed and joked and allowed all this hatred to go on against Terrence Crawford, and they got slapped. They got slapped in the goddamn face with a porcupine foot. A motherfucking porcupine. They got slapped with a porcupine paddle, quills and everything on that bitch. They got slapped with a beaver tail. They wouldn't have said shit good about Crawford. I didn't hear shit good about Crawford. Leading up on that side, these niggas weren't saying shit good about Crawford. They was just goddamn criticizing, getting personal, all this other shit. You heard. Terrible. His character. When do we sit up here and say we want to accept boxers that has morals and principles and core values in the hurt business, a business where you inflict total and utter violence? When in the hell does morals and principles come into this motherfucker, yo? I mean, have you heard such asinine comments? The way he negotiated, and his resume should be taken into consideration. These are people that would never go to a single fight with a credential hanging off their motherfucking shoulders. Because, for one, negotiations don't give a damn about a person who's coming up here and how they negotiated. And who would be talking about negotiations if the fight is happening? This is why I say it's controversial gossip, because that's some dumbass shit. To after the fight, their KO, you give him your credit that you was absolutely wrong, but then you turn back around 48 hours after that, you shitting on him again. Why isn't that female questioning your integrity and character? That's who should be questioning integrity and character. The niggas that goddamn set up here on that time and partially gave Crawford his credit. Yeah, you said you was dead wrong. You haven't been dead wrong on a fight like this. Okay. And then turn back around and start hating.
A bunch of times, put 100 in the chat. If you never heard me say that, then people heard me say that shit. And I'm like, hindsight being 2020, bro, I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, bro, if you knew that Bud was going to get his timing so early in the fight, the fuck did you think was going to happen later in the fight?
This is called narcissism. This is the nigga that was dead ass wrong, but yet he want to act like he dead ass right. He want people to think that, oh, the only reason he just kept what he really thought to himself. Now, after the fact, in hindsight, he want to act like that's what he did in forethought. That's what he was talking. That's what he was thinking initially. But he just didn't want to prognosticate it to his chat members because he didn't want to come off as being too good of an expert with predicting these fights. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want people to be scared to go to his debate series. But this particular fight right here, not only did Spence get beat up, but his fan base obviously is still feeling the effects from those residuals that Crawford was hitting. Counter shots, uppercuts, jabs, crosses. Come on, bro. Hooks. The list goes on.
If you knew he was going to get his timing and catch him with a flush counter, why did you not know that he was going to be able to continue to do that? And then on top of that, you said if he hit him and he don't get earl respect, the fight is over. When the hell has he caught somebody with a counter and not been able to get their fucking respect? I'm like, God damn, bro. God damn. And at that point, I'm like, that's where you missed the shit, bro. That's where you missed the shit. Because if you know somebody in any other fight, bro, God damn, if you know somebody is gonna get timed early in the fight because somebody is that good at time and people are that good at counterpunching them, what makes you think they won't be able to catch them later on in the fight, bro? And then the other thing that I said, bro, yeah, that shit was nasty, bro. The other shit that I thought about.
What was nasty? That beatdown? Yeah, I agree. That's one thing I agree with. That shit was nasty, homie.
On why I missed this fight.
Why? I just want you to hear the narcissism.
It's the same reason that Devin Haney's making the right decision at 140.
No, we're not gonna cross over to Devin Haney. I just wanted you to hear, you know, the nonsense. Okay, I want you to hear what was going on these panels prior to Crawford Spence. Why am I saying that? It's because they're trying their best to make Crawford, to make Boots and Norman Jr. the same. Two black fighters, same division, both champions. One is unified and one has the WBO title. The crazy part about it, I feel like they can't separate the two. All they say is, I'm going to treat Norman Jr. like shit because he has Crawford's WBO title that he went on a knockout spree with. I mean, look, the crazy part about me, I'm not trying to goddamn break open any goddamn boxing Bibles, but ain't the last two fights of Norman with the WBO title been stoppages? Is this something about the WBO title? I mean, God forbids he get another goddamn stoppage, but isn't he on a two straight knockout streak right now? I know Boots just got his knockout of Stanton. I'm just saying his last two fights been stoppages, but I believe these cats are not smart enough to separate. There's a different name to the belt that's holding the WBO sanctioned body name around their waist. I don't think they can separate. There's a different name that's holding that strap. They are trying their best to say the same shit. Oh, we hate Norman, so he should fight Barrios next. Not he Norman, but he Jaron Ennis. And then go and fight Norman last. Oh, Norman should do this and that. Here we go again. For Crawford, they was talking about what Crawford should take from Spence. He shouldn't get this amount. He shouldn't get that. We heard it, right? That's the exact same shit they saying with Norman. They say Crawford ain't sold no tickets. He ain't did no pay-per-views. He ain't put butts in the seats. The same shit they saying about Norman, yo. They have selectively chosen the guy that's from where Spence is from, over there in the NYC area, right? This close proximity. They have selected to say we're gonna rock with Jaron Ennis because, yeah, I'm showing favoritism because Spence is from the backyard, as in Norman Jr. is from the A. So they're doing the exact same protocol that they did with Crawford Spence. And that's the reason why I feel that something should be absolutely said about it, because it's stupid. These are grown-ass adults that's out here acting like they're slow. You want people to respect the boxing media community, but yet all the black media does is group up together, single out and profile a black fighter, just like they complain about the police doing on the street, right? They'll be the same one. Oh, I was profiled. They profile these black fighters online, and they sit up here and find shit that's wrong with them. That's exactly what they're doing in this case. They're profiling black fighters and finding out, oh, why should we damn talk shit about them? Why? Why? You can't say I'm a hater if you know, like, a hater to me is you're finding anything wrong with that fighter. To say that, why are we just forgetting about how he negotiated and what his resume was? That is the dumbest shit I heard, bro. Like, you're trying to tell me before you go in negotiations, you have to go get blessed and baptized and rededicate your life to your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? You're trying to tell me you have to put in at least 8 hours of soul winning, going door to door, knocking, telling people about the Holy Spirit? What does his resume and how he negotiated have to do with him stepping in there fighting Spence? To hear these cats up here talk shit personal shit, and for no one to correct them. That's my issue. Niggas ain't correcting other niggas, bro. They just want them to be niggas so everybody can feel good about themselves. For real. Everybody got gun, everybody got this, slingshots and all that, but we talking boxing. Everybody's a soft ass nigga because a soft ass nigga couldn't handle the truth. That's all that is. Listen to this shit right here. This is a classic. Listen to this shit. Absolute classic.
Cause real ones gonna give whoever win they credit. Cause at the end of the day, shit, you should like boxing more than you like, a boxer. But Ricky, at the end of the day, shit, you should like boxing more than you like, a boxer. But Ricky, I appreciate you hopping on. Shit, you should like boxing. Real ones gonna give whoever win they credit. Cause at the end of the day, shit, you should like boxing more. One's gonna give whoever
no out. Make the fight happen, bro.
Cause real ones gonna give whoever win they credit. Cause at the end of the day, shit, you should like boxing more than you like, a boxer. But
you should like boxing more than you like a boxer. You should like boxing more than you like a boxer. You should like boxing more than you like the boxer. You should like boxing more than you like the boxer. You should like boxing more than you like the boxer. So if that is indeed true, you should like boxing, then why the majority of the video titles that I see is basically denigrating a boxer? Then when you speak of your favorite fighter, you go in life and limb to tell everybody on how good, what's the pros and cons of your fighter. Oh, he has just pros, no cons. He's the great. What is the point of getting mad at anybody if you're having a boxing conversation and it's all about boxing? It's all about boxing. If it's just about boxing, none of us should be getting mad talking about the boxers. You said we should like boxing more than we like the boxer. So why are all these black media so quick to kick people off the panel and feel like they in their whole time, you know what I'm saying, they got their dress pulled up, they menstrually dedicated, blood dripping everywhere? If it's all about the sport, yo, why are y'all bleeding out over a boxer? The boxers have to compete in the sport for the sport to thrive. So if you indeed support the sport more than you support the fighter, why is there so many of y'all up here just getting angry over bullshit? Why is there such a divide on this YouTube community over bullshit? Why? I mean, you can ask why all day long. Why? Why does it continue to go down the same road? Y'all cats sit up here and complain, bitch, and cry all the time about us not getting the best fights. And then when the fights present themselves for undisputed, a unification bout for undisputed in a division where for a while we was talking strictly about that being one of the hottest divisions. Now the old guard is out, new guard in. Now we want to find some way to shit on the new guard, the new champions that's up there. That's crazy. You're finding all the criticism in the world to downplay this fight, but you weren't downplaying Usyk Fury. They weren't downplaying Usyk Fury. They weren't downplaying Beterbiev Bivol. And Beterbiev was 40 years old. Am I right or wrong? Were they downplaying that shit? When in a way, unified super bantamweight, they didn't downplay that. When all those freaking unifications happened in 135, they didn't downplay that. They more so wanted one fighter to get his shot. Devin Haney, because he had the belt. Devin Haney gets his shot. He move up, beat Regis. All of a sudden, he has a bad night with Ryan. What they do? They start shitting on the man. in rotation. All along during that time, Crawford is knocking heads off. He's on a stopping spree at 147, but yet people are saying that he has to earn respect to be the best in the division. So he not to forget, this man had more divisions, but to basically for them try to consummate that, try to expunge it from the record, they were saying he ain't fought nobody from 135 all the way up to 47. He ain't fought nobody. So regardless of what he accomplished, they look at Spence as the unification guy, a guy that they want to unify, as if it was going to be easy for him to go in there and beat up Terrence Crawford. And just like they said, oh, it's going to be disappointing. It's going to be disappointing. I know it was disappointing because y'all still haven't recovered. And look, the aerosexuals get so mad when you bring it up. I'm going to bring it up, nigga. I'm going to bring that shit up because y'all still feeling some type of way. If it's all about boxing, then why are y'all shitting on the fighter so hard? These are your own words, bro. Your words, man. People that was on your panel talking that bullshit. Not all of them. Not all of them. Not all of them. Not all of them. But some people that I played their audio was talking that bullshit, and nobody, and I mean nobody, corrected her on the bullshit. Nobody corrected KO on this bullshit. Let's finish this right here right quick. I need to let you hear this. It's imperative that you hear this. Listen to the tone, because he was wrong.
Shit that I thought about on why I missed this fight. It's the same reason that Devin Haney's making the right decision at 140. I feel like I should have known Bud was going to be stronger in the game. I feel like
he should have known.
I should have known it, bro. I feel like Earl been at the weight class when he was a professional, and Bud worked his way into the weight class, bro. And he was just fucking strong, bro. And I'm watching the fight so surprised, but hindsight being 2020, I'm not fucking surprised. Shit that I should have been thinking about. Shit I should have been thinking about. Like growing into the weight class, it being your second or third weight class, is why fucking Monster. The same shit I said about Monster. It's why Monster was so.
We're not talking about him. We're talking about that Omaha Monster. We're not talking about that Japanese guy y'all say, that Monster. No, we're talking about one Monster, and that's the Omaha Monster. And you wanted to damn treat him like he was just an average little ghost, and his nickname was Casper. No, hold on, y'all.
Much stronger and sharper and crisper than Cool Boy. Cool Boy at the goddamn weight class too goddamn long. And Monster coming up, filling out, being able to be his full hydrated self, was just fucking sharper, stronger, faster on the night. I saw it with Monster, but for some reason, I just had a lot of faith in Earl, bro. Had a lot of faith in Earl. I should have saw those two things. The other thing, bro, that I keep coming back to is exit to red. We're not doing it, bro. Get exit to red out of there, bro. Get exit to red out of here. Listen, bro, y'all have to stop. Because I'm going to get on Bud fans if they come up here on some bullshit. Right? But y'all got to stop making excuses, bro. You have to stop. They going to loop me in with you motherfuckers, bro. Get exit to red out of my chat. I don't have to do it the way y'all got a wrench, bro. That's why y'all got a wrench, bro. They going to group me in with y'all, bro. I don't understand this. No, like, if your fighter is not making excuses, why are you? And you're accusing the man of PEDs for what reason, bro? That man ain't never tested dirty, pop dirty a day in his life, bro. And I don't fucking like Bud Crawford. I don't like him, bro. I'll never be a fan of his like Drink, bro. I'll never be a fan of his like Rolo in the photo. I will never be a fan, bro. But stop coming in my chat making excuses just because a fighter lost a fight, bro. Because he not doing it. That man is talking about he good. The better man won. He just, bro. The person you making excuses for just posted today, I was raised old school, where men don't make excuses. And even if I had one, I wouldn't give it to you. Even if I had one, I wouldn't give it to you. So as a fan of his, why would you do that? You make him look weak. You make people that support him look weak. Listen, bro, that man a dog. He gonna go for his rematch. Bud said he'll fight him at 154, and he got a chance to go prove everybody that think it's gonna be easy for Bud in the second fight. He got a chance to prove them wrong, bro. But don't do that shit, bro. Don't clap, because what you do is you take away from the fight. And more importantly, if you're an Earl fan, you take away from him, bro. You take away from him. Because I would think the things that make you a fan of his would be the things that make me a fan of his. He's truthful. He's gonna tell you like it is, even if it shines him in a negative light.
Let's talk about that. Truthful and tell you the way it is. So let's talk about the fathers. Are they being truthful, telling the way it is? I mean, they're talking their shit, right? I mean, is it wrong for Norman Jr. to be criticized by the aerosexuals because they have selected to choose the guy that is not the favorite? So they want to once again get personal. They want to once again get personal. I heard somebody complain about him ordering food. These are grown adults, and I believe some of them are in relationships, and some of them maybe just being there by themselves, goddamn looking at the wall and shit. I don't know. Building up their goddamn roach box wreck. I don't know what they're doing, but the way they're acting on the YTC as of recent is showing me that there's something going on. There's something wrong, and it's not the water. It's shit that's in liquid form, different color, and when it hits different when you take it to the head. Some of these motherfuckers are dependent on some shit that's making them get on here when they're feeling right and sounding stupid. They feeling right and they sounding stupid. Some of these motherfuckers getting on here and they gotta either be smoking or drinking or smoking or drinking, or they gotta hear me remind them that they saying some dumb shit. If someone's telling the truth or their opinion, then that's what it is. What the senior say, just because it's opinion don't mean it's a lie. Is he wrong? That's facts. Just because it's an opinion don't mean it's a lie. Just because you don't like my opinion doesn't mean it's a lie. Everything I say that's boxing related that makes sense, you can't sit up here and talk and scream and yell and then kick somebody off your panel, dumbass nigga. That means you don't have thick enough skin to handle somebody else that's up there running over you like a motherfucking milk truck with boxing knowledge, and you want to say, oh, I don't like this, I got to use the mute button. I just think that's the softest shit ever. Y'all want people to come on your panel, but yet you want to mute them. You want to disrespect them. You want to mute them and disrespect them. You want to humiliate them. If that ain't bitch tendencies, I don't know what is. You want them to come on your panel just so you can put them in the background, just so you can mute them. That's soft. If you invite somebody to your panel and y'all want to have a boxing discussion, why don't you just have a boxing discussion between you and that person? You can always tell the weak, frail-minded individuals, they love having a bunch of niggas on there so they can jump in at any given time. Believe that. If a person really want to have a boxing debate and you drop a link, they'll just get on there and it'll just be you and them. But no, they will have 8 other niggas on there to jump in whenever it feel like. I've been there. I never dropped the link behind the scene having somebody on the panel just so they can be outnumbered. I've had people on here that's talking bullshit and got off topic a little bit, and a little bit, outside the lines, they was blurring the lines a little bit, gray area, all that shit. They may have got muted, but they wasn't really talking about boxing. I always say, keep it on boxing and we good. I was talking about boxing once again. You know what I'm saying? But that being kicked off the panel is not enough to bring me out of retirement. It's not enough to bring me out of retirement. I'm in retirement from goddamn laying up headstones, bro. I'm just chilling right now. I'm just trying to remind you all that there's still a residual effect going on since July 29, 2023. That's all I'm here to do. I'm here to remind people, the individuals that was talking crazy and the people that was talking along with them, and how they're still fucked up. So now they feel like Brian Norman Jr. should be the one that's taking all the heat that they really want to give Bud Crawford back then, but couldn't because he ended up beating Errol Spence. So now they want to go back and rewrite the script. Set the stage. 3, 2, 1, lights, camera, action. That's what they trying to do, yo. They trying their best to make Jerron Ennis Errol Spence at that time, because they feel like, well, Norman's not Crawford. Now they would give Crawford the credit and say all around he's technically proficient in boxing. But is one dynamic there. He has the WBO strap. He's on a 2-fight knockout streak. So therefore, it's like they're all in with trying to rewrite and trying to rededicate themselves to their Father God of the boxing, Holy Spirit, their God, their King, their Savior, your God, your Lord, they want to just goddamn bring everybody together. Let's have one devotional moment, an intervention. Please bring in all the effigies. Bring in all the demons. We have to go to the dark side for this one. We believe we can pull it off. We believe we can pull this shit off.
He's gonna tell you the truth. Hey, this is what I had going on at this time. I wasn't dedicated at that time. I'm gonna go do this, and this. I'm not fighting that guy. I'll never fight that guy. But I'm gonna fight this guy. This is who I want to fight, bro. He tells you the truth. What's good, Key? He tells you the truth. So if that's what gravitated you to him, bro, then why at this point when he's telling y'all, hey man, shit, he's just better than me, the better man won, why y'all making excuses for him, bro? Don't do that shit. But back to what I was saying, bro. Nick J, yeah, it hurt. We gotta talk about it. Shit real, man. You know what I mean? It's still man down, shit.
It's still man down. Listen to me, it's still man down. What about the assassin in the building? God damn it, is it man down with the assassin in the building? They still hurt. They said still man down with no vigor behind it. I mean, what happened to the energy before the fight? But after, oh my God. Whoo, I can only imagine it being a fly on the wall when they was at the kneeling position at the foot of their bed. Father God, I pray to you to forgive me my sins. Please. Let this thought leave my mind, Father God, because it's hurting me so bad. My heart aches in pain. Hey, man, can you imagine all the mattresses that was soaked full of tears? It's still man down. You didn't even say that convincingly, bro. It's still man down. Yeah, it's man down today.
It's still Errol Spence. I will always be Errol Spence ain't got to win another fucking fight. And I'll still be a bigger fan of his than Bud Crawford. I would tell you in a heartbeat, Bud Crawford is a better fighter. He proved to be on a whole different level Saturday night, but I don't fuck with him, bro. I fuck with Errol.
Oh, that just proves my point, man. You will always be a bigger fan. You know, Errol Spence can never fight again, but yet you don't want to encourage him to fight again. You don't want to encourage him to step to the ring again, because his final fight will always have Crawford name there. And you're trying to convince me that you're fine with him never lacing up the glove again for a professional fight? You're fine with that? And that last fight he had was against Crawford, a fighter that you despise, you and your community despised? That's not cool. That's not cool to be pushing that off on people. That's not cool, right? That has no growth to it. Nothing. There's nothing hygienic about that shit. You're going to say you're fine If Errol Spence, a fighter that you rock with that heavy, takes one loss and you're just gonna push him out and say, you know, I'll still fuck with him more than Crawford, but I don't care if he ever fights again, knowing that he lost to Crawford and Crawford put him into retirement. That doesn't even sound real. That doesn't even seem like you're genuinely invested in what you're saying. It doesn't sound like that. It just seemed like you're rambling.
I'll tell you that with no problem, no qualms. I ain't got no hesitation to tell y'all that, bro, because I prefer truthful and honest people, bro. Truthful and honest people that's gonna tell me like it is. Because how you treat your family, they both treat their family good. How you treat your loved ones, they both treat their loved ones good. But I'm a fan of Earl because of how he treats the fans. I prefer that over how Bud Crawford treats the fans.
So what have Norman Jr., how he treated the fans? I'm just curious. I'm just curious. What has he done to the fans, bro? Dude is articulate. He's from the South. He can carry on a media scrum. He can talk his shit. He's sitting up here letting you know that he has bravado. He has a personality. He know how to get his fans to gravitate to him in front of the mic. He's not saying the same regurgitated information all the time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what has he done to get this type of hate than earn a championship? Earn a championship. Because KO talks about earning respect. But it's difficult to earn respect when you're doubling back. If you're going to earn respect, you got to stand on what you said initially, bro. You can't double back and make it seem like you wasn't the person who said it. You say you got to earn respect. You're talking about fight fans should be more in love with boxing than the fighter. But yet, all the drama that you insert yourself to is shit that's outside of boxing. You will more so zoom in on a fighter than the sport. And you have absolutely nothing to do with the team of that specific fighter. But it's been said on public record, and everybody has witnessed this, on how they're trying to rewrite a different script for Norman heading into this freaking fight. A fight that's really may not ever happen. I mean, let's think about it. Before Spence and Crawford fought, they was up here talking about Crawford was going to fight Arnold Barboza. See, it's just so many lies that's out here with that. But all I'm saying is, how are you all not giving the common decency to both fighters and they're good guys? They're still in their 20s, man. Y'all older cats. Y'all older dudes. But you're treating them like, when it comes to them learning from some older cats, you know, like that M word they try to use growing up, mentors, or it takes a village to raise a child, right? It seems like you all are not really raised off that belief. Like some of you cats was raised in the woods, the tree line. Some of you cats was raised by a different species. Because there's no way you can ignore a good human being, but yet praise something else outside of what you're supposed to be living as in life. If you're teaching your family how to live a certain way at home, but yet you come over here and you dog out the very same fighters that's living the exact same way that you're telling your kids to be in life, stay out of trouble, be someone successful. Go out here and be a leader. Be great at what you do. But yet you come in here shitting on fighters who's doing the exact same thing you encouraging your kids to do. I'm talking to all you niggas that's out here shitting on, profiling black fighters all the time just because you want to feel a narrative. All the bullshit and rhetoric that you putting out here is not going to bring the fight that any closer. Telling somebody, hey, go on so-and-so's panel. For what? Why is somebody going to go on a different panel if they're going to mute them and kick them off the panel and say they ran? How productive is that? And if the audience is in there typing, And look, I expect the Errol Sextors to be in that typing because they did it before the Errol Spence and Crawford fight. They was in the chat saying crazy shit, bro. They were just in here talking crazy. But they the same ones that'll go up to the school and defend their kids that's up there acting just like they do on the YouTube community. If their kid is up there acting like a complete other fool, they'll go up there and try to get on the teachers. No, that's my kid. No, I teach him better than that. I'm telling your kid disrespectful. No, that's my kid. I teach him better than that. No, your kid disrespectful. And they talk to a counselor. They say, hey, if mom and dad can get on there on social media and cuss people out, I think I can cuss my classmates out. What's the difference? If they can do it, I can do it. They find it okay. Well, have your parents actually told you that that's not necessarily the friendly thing to do? It's not the polite way to treat your friends in life. Have they ever told you that? I never really asked, but I just felt like all the cussing and screaming and yelling that they're doing, all throughout the evening and the night, sometimes I can't even sleep. Not to mention all the motherfucking live streams that was going on into the AM when this fight was happening. Now we don't really know if the undisputed is going to happen. But what we do clearly understand is that they're trying their best to stir up two fighters to hate each other. And yes, it's some disdain there. It's some friction there. That happens in boxing. But it's the motherfuckers that's mad about a black man being in his kid's life. Once again, y'all, Bozy is in Jerron in his life, but Bozy is the favorite. I mean, Ennis is the favorite. You know what I'm saying? I commend both of these cats being in their kids' life and bringing them to the world level. They are world champions in life. I know my boys, they world champions in their 20s. They're world champions. But people are talking about motherfucker driving down the street, minding his own fucking business, eating, receiving phone calls, and being tricked out of $5, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's wild right there. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's absolutely wild. Shout out to everybody in the chat. BG on deck, Gumbo on deck. I see you. Yeah, you heard it for yourself, man. But I'm not gonna hold y'all down. All I'm saying is when it comes down to what we have right here, Stickin' Boys Fishing and Sport. Thanks for the $5 super chat, bro. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you and one love, man. Thanks for supporting the channel. Hate is a hell of a drug. Yes, sir. You say you should, be a part of boxing, more a part of the boxing. You should be, infatuated with this sport. You should have more of a relationship, an intimate relationship with the sport of boxing and not the fighter. But yet, almost all of the drama and the vision that you hear on social media is from people putting extremely excessive amount of effort into their favorite fighter. But they don't talk about their favorite fighter in a good way as much as they talk about the negativity in which they're trying to link that favorite fighter to. What did I say they did leading up to Crawford Spence? They talked more about Crawford and what he couldn't do than what Errol Spence could do. Maybe if they would have spent more time, if you listen to the whole freaking panel of that live stream before, some of them cats was talking about more to what Bud won't be able to do, or what's going to happen to him, and this, that, and the other. They wasn't really focused on what Errol Spence needs to do, what he can do, what we know he can do. But salute to the ones who support the chat, man. I'm not going to hold this too long. Shout out to the hottest chat in the game. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.